Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the next episode of Thrive Talk. And today we are talking about activity, the feel-good disillusionment. So it's activity versus productivity. Welcome, Haran. This is going to be another interesting one because I think a lot of people avoid a lot of things with the activities that they actually do.
Yes, very interesting topic, and it's a very subtle thing. The difference between productivity and efficiency, and it's something that that happens in the psychology of a human being, where you keep yourself busy for the sake of keeping your conscience calm and satisfied. And yet, in the process, people end up avoiding the things that they need to do in order to be efficient for some or other obscure or strange reason, which sometimes they themselves doesn't even realize.
Yeah, you know, and it's difficult for people. I always talk to people and say to them that you need to be conscious of what you're doing. You have to be conscious in the moment. It's like self-negative talk as well.
Yes.
People don't even realize that they are doing it. But if they become conscious of that, then they can take a step back and say, I'm not doing the right thing, I can do something different.
Yes, and the irony of it all is people are sabotaging their own efforts because they keep on honing in on certain activities for some other obscure reason. As I said, it's the disillusionment of you getting that feel-good experience in it, but you sabotage yourself, you avoid the results for some other strange reason. And it's like the hamster in a spinning wheel or in a treadmill.
Going nowhere.
Yes.
Going absolutely nowhere. So yes, you know, people have good intentions with what they are doing because they think they're doing the right things, but they actually end up doing completely the wrong things.
Yes, and you see that a lot in multi-level marketing, online business, where people work for themselves. It's especially people that are traditionally working in a traditional work in the normal economy,
environment,
and now they want to supplement their income. Now they go into an environment where they need to function like an entrepreneur, where they lack the skills, they lack the insight, they lack the business acumen. But yet they're after the supplementary income.
And in the beginning it works.
Yes.
Because the excitement is high and excitement sells.
Yes.
But like we said in the previous episode, after 3 months, the honeymoon is over.
Yes. Now the hard yards needs to kick in, and then people keep themselves busy avoiding results, ironically enough. And I've seen that, and a lot of us can relate to that when you need to write in exams. My eldest son, when he was writing his matric exams, for the first time in his life, he picked up the guitar and started to teach himself how to play the guitar. So in 6 months leading up towards his matric exam, he mastered the guitar. That wasn't one of his subjects, but it's typically that whole thing of
avoiding the pain.
Avoiding the pain. So now he's trying to escape by doing something else, which give the disillusionment of it's a good activity, it's a constructive activity, but the only reason he's doing it at that point in time is to avoid the pain of studying and writing the exam. Otherwise he wouldn't have done it, not in that time.
Yeah.
And we're doing a lot similar things as well. People end up, when they need to do something urgently or importantly, which they're trying to avoid, they end up cleaning the house, they end up doing the dishes, and that kind of stuff. So what it's all about is it's that whole thing of trying to avoid the pain. So you know you need to do something. You know you need to go through that process. And in this specific context, it's about confronting prospects. It's about presenting your opportunity. And the majority of people avoid that because of the pain associated with that. The pain of rejection, the pain of failure, far outweighs in their mind the possibility of success, the possibility of closing the deal, because they're inexperienced, they're not skilled as yet. So when they look at this activity that they need to do, they've got a distorted perception of the outcome. Instead of the outcome being success, instead of the outcome being results, they still associate that activity with pain, rejection, failure.
Yeah.
That's why they avoid it. So now instead of going out and doing the things that will give them the results, they end up doing the name lists. They end up doing cleaning up Facebook. They end up getting more marketing material together, and they're busy and they're busy and they're busy. But they avoid the actual thing that gives them the results.
Yeah.
And it's a very subtle positioning in their mind. It's that association with pain rather than results.
But a lot of people don't actually even realize that. And that's why it's important when you get involved in an online business, it's really important to connect with somebody in your upline. Connect with somebody that you can associate with, somebody that's going to hold you accountable, somebody, and it's not for that person to be your boss. That's completely the wrong thinking. It's just that you need somebody that's not you to make you realize and make you conscious of the things that you are doing to avoid the things that will actually grow your business.
Yes. Is that thing that we spoke about as well, of external accountability.
Yeah.
So appoint somebody to whom you can report, because then you will allow yourself to get away with it. Dodge and dive, the actual activities, doing other activities, and that's the whole feeling good, disillusionment.
Mm-hmm.
You're busy, you put in 8 hours a day.
Yes.
But you were busy with the wrong stuff. And that's the difference between efficiency and productivity. And I think there's one of the best examples that I've heard was a story, just for illustration purposes. It doesn't have to be something that actually happened.
Yeah.
But this plane that crashed in the jungle, and there was a couple of survivors, and they now had to get out of this jungle. And a couple of interesting dynamics took place within this group. So they settled down, they sorted themselves out, they take stock of what they've got and how many people they've got and what's the fitness level and the strength of everybody. And then they started to hack. They got 3 machetes, so they started to hack a path to get away from the wreck back to civilization. And they kept on hacking, and soon leadership started to demonstrate themselves. When some of the guys started to organize them into teams, because the guys they're hacking away get tired, so they work on shifts, introduce shifts, and so they improved the efficiencies where they moved, say, a kilometer the first day, the second and the third day they're up to 2 to 3 kilometers, because now they organized themselves, leadership was implemented, working with the shifts, so they improved their efficiencies. And on the 4th day, when they went over a ridge, one of the guys climbed up in a tree. He looked around and he said, stop, we're going in the wrong direction. When the leader from the bottom said, shut up, we're making good progress here. and that's the whole thing. People are so focused on, say, progress. They're doing the right stuff and they keep on doing the right stuff. They don't take time to stand back and reflect to see, but listen, all this activity that we're busy with, that we are so efficient in, does it even lead to anything?
Yeah.
They don't assess what they're busy with.
Yes.
And that's the difference between efficiency and productivity. So if you take time just to assess and say, no, wait, we're very efficient in what we're doing, but we're not productive.
Yeah.
There are no results.
Yeah.
We're making name lists and name lists and name lists, and we're cleaning up Facebook and Facebook and Facebook, and we're posting and posting and posting. Are there any results? And you need to take time out to assess that.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, it's only those activities that directly relates to results that are worth the while.
And how do you actually find out or make that decision that what you are doing is not giving you the right results? Is by your pocket. When your pocket stays empty, that means that you're not moving in the right direction. And I use the word money-making activities. Every single thing that you do, you have to ask yourself, will this result in money in my pocket? And if you start thinking that way, you reassess with what you are busy with, a lot quicker, and you produce results much quicker as well.
Yes, and that's where experience comes in. People that are seasoned in this industry can give guidance to other people. So, and yeah, first and foremost, you need to sort out something in your inner world, and that's on the one hand the level of commitment. How committed are you? And that connects to your why. So, in other words, why are you doing this in the first place? You must have clarity on that. You must have that first and foremost in your mind. And then the other thing, which is a very subtle thing as well, which a lot of people don't even realize, and if you become conscious of your own motives and your own behavior, this thing will stand out, and you need to assess it. And that is the level of conviction. How convinced are you that what you are doing will indeed lead to results?
Yeah.
Because if you're not convinced, you will sabotage yourself. You are busy in order to demonstrate to your upline that, listen, I'm busy. I've spent so many hours doing name lists. I've spent so many hours on Facebook. But it's that typical thing. And Robert Kiyosaki actually mentioned this in his book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. When he was still a rookie sales rep, his first year, 2 years, I think, he was just scraping by. He was more on the list of getting fired than on the list of getting promoted. Because they will go in and say, for instance, they need to knock 10 doors a day. He will work through those 10 doors for the sake of getting through the 10 doors and not for the sake of getting a sale. It's a subtle difference, but it had two completely opposite results.
Yeah.
So he goes in there, knock the 10 doors for the sake of filling in his report so that he can submit his report that he's knocked his 10 doors for the day. But with the whole approach, his whole attitude was, if there's nobody there, then yes, it's a good one. He can move on to the next one.
Yeah.
So failure was actually his desired outcome. It's a very subtle thing, but it makes the whole world of a difference in terms of his results. Until he started to speak with the successful sales reps, and they pointed out, they say, listen, rather do 5 calls, but effective calls aimed at getting a deal, than going through 10 calls for the sake of getting through 10 calls. So in other words, if your level of conviction is not there, if you're not convinced that what you are doing will actually result in a sale, then you're sabotaging yourself. You're going to go in there to keep busy for the sake of being busy, and that's the whole disillusionment.
Yeah.
So you need to get your level of commitment sorted out. Why you're doing it? You need to get your conviction sorted out. That yes, it's a good product. Yes, I'm confident with the product. Yes, I can, with pride, associate myself with this company and with this product. If there's any doubt there, you will sabotage yourself.
Absolutely. So how do you, or let's say this, what do you use to guide yourself in the right direction?
You need to work out a system for yourself, but the ideal will be if your company, the company that you associate with, has got a system in place already, so you can just plug into that. Where you've got, obviously your ultimate vision is clear, and that comes back to your why. And then you backwards engineer, where you start with your goals. What are your goals? What do you need to achieve this week, this month, the next 90 days?
Yes.
And those things will then translate into an action plan, which will be result producing activities. So yes, make your name lists, but the name list doesn't give you results. The name list will not give you revenue.
Yes.
The people in the name list will give you revenue. So now you need to approach them. So what is your approach? What is your spiel? How do you approach them? What do you tell them? How do you introduce the product to them? How do you sell to them? How do you close the deal? All of those things are unique for each and every business. So those are the things that you need to go back to your business, go back to your upline and study those things. So you need to learn those things. You need to acquire those skills.
Yes.
But that's not the end result.
Yeah.
That's part of the build up. Now it needs to be implemented, and the results come from the implementation.
Yes, absolutely. So, yeah, taking the correct action, that's what it's all about at the end of the day. A system will be provided, but you have to make the decision ultimately that you are going to follow that system.
Yes.
And that's the biggest thing, is to make that conscious decision that you are going to commit, something that we spoke about before. You are going to commit to what you are doing. You are going to educate yourself on what you are doing, and you will partake in the system and the tools that's provided for you. And at the end of the day, those things will then give you the desired results. Yeah, so it's a lot that we spoke about again. I'm sure that we'll touch on more topics like this. I think a lot of people need topics like this so that they can just, redirect themselves, take a moment, step back and reassess on what they are doing so that they can follow the correct path. So thank you, Gerard, for that insightful information that you shared with us again today. And we will see you in the next episode. Remember the next success story after this episode.
And don't fool yourself being busy. Go and produce the results. See you next time.
Hey guys, Hayley here. I just wanted to share a little bit of my short yet amazing journey with Thrive this far. When you sort of sit and think to yourself that there's got to be something else out there to make life worth living and just a little better. Those days when you don't know when the next cent is going to come from to put petrol in your car or to buy a loaf of bread. Well, I think I found myself doing that more often in the past than I care to remember, actually. Finding out about Thrive has been a real game changer for me, especially when in my first week and a half I out-earned my salary and I realized that I'd actually found what I'd perhaps been looking for so long. I'm nowhere near where I'd like to be, but I'm certainly a lot further than I ever dreamed possible in such a short space of time. I'm finding myself these days finding that my children and my family are one of the reasons that I'm able to get up out of bed and actually face the day, and why I want to grow Thrive as big as I possibly can. I've been able to do things lately that before I never dreamt would ever be possible, like sending my youngest son on his first ever national hockey tour to Cape Town, which was a huge achievement for me and which honestly made both of us so very happy. And now I'm planning to throw my soon-to-be 18-year-old the biggest birthday bash of his life. There should have been a surprise, and obviously it's no longer going to be one when he sees this, but these are just little things that was seriously hurting me, which I thought would never be possible, and which honestly made me feel like I was going to look like a bad mom. But anyway, Thrive has honestly made a huge difference in my life, and a life that seems to have been a hard struggle many of the times, with many curveballs being thrown at me. And I can't wait to prove to everybody that I'm not a failure and that I am going to be a huge success, and I'm already on my way there. And I'd like to make my dreams come true of helping others in need as well as feeding the homeless. That's been my lifelong dream. I'd like to thank Villy and James for the opportunity that you have afforded all of us, because it's certainly changing my life one day at a time. And all I'd like to say is that your past really doesn't define you, but what you do now does.